Good evening, everybody. How are you all doing? Good to see you. I hope you had a wonderful day. Let's start with the second evening of our concerts. The first artist is a performing artist who's written 200 songs and recorded 20 albums. He has written 3 books, toured all over the world, and his music style is a combination of pop, rock, and gospel. His lyrics are personal and focus on many different aspects in life. And I asked this artist for a fun fact, but he gave me an amazing fact because he told me that he wrote his first song 50 years ago, and he's here to perform it all the way from Sweden. Please give a warm welcome to Ingemar Olsson.
I used to go to Sunday school, my mother took me there. We sang and talked about the Lord, we spent some time in prayer. I really had a good time as I sat there listening. And every now and then all the children stood up to sing. Jag älskar söndagsskolan och vi lektioner dit, and things like that. I really had a good time, Good old Sunday school. Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, we were dressed up to go. Me and my baby sister, who was born 3 years ago. We went together all the way from home to the church door, gaily humming on the song we learned the week before. Men jag givit hela hjärtat åt min Gud. We knew the words and understood the meaning. Good old Sunday school. Though so many years ago, I still remember all the happy times as Sunday school member. I used to go to Sunday school when I was just a kid. I never ever will forget or regret that I did. I love Sunday school, oh my Sunday school, oh yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I used to go to Sunday school. Here we go again. 50 years ago, I recorded the song, and here I am. I've been to Christian artists several times. And I'm going to share with you something that is new, that is on YouTube. There was no YouTube when I went to Sunday school. And this is very important for me. I've gotten to know so many people who they are refugees. They have left their countries because religion has oppressed them. Religion is one of the most terrible problems in this world. I'd never realized that before. So after I had met them, I wrote one book about my experiences, and then I wrote a song, of course. I went to India to film that song, and those who are dancing with me on YouTube on this film, they are Hindus. I thought Hinduism was a rather nice religion. It can be. But it's not always so. People are being killed today because they are breaking some Hindu rules. There are people who are being killed today because they are breaking other religious rules. And Christianity is also a religion. But I'm happy to say that Jesus is not a religion. He's a liberator. So here we go. Oh, on his throne, while prophets' demands wear me down to the bone. I turn to a person of different origin. Jesus is not a religion. When some people say they rely on infallible scripture that fell from the sky, I find myself of a different opinion. Jesus is not a religion. He chose a path and a mission where no one had gone before. Released us from superstition. His vision has opened a door. I don't want to join in campaigns, bombarding my brains until nothing remains. I strongly believe that love is the reason. Jesus is not a I choose a life of freedom, where love means everything. I open my eyes to see them, those wonderful things love can bring. I'm tired of following rules, doctrinal systems that make us all fools. I long for the truth and I don't need a fiction. Jesus is not a religion. Oh no, oh no. I choose a life of freedom, where love means everything. I open my eyes to see them, those wonderful things love can bring. I don't need to bow to the ground. I'm so happy now with the freedom I found. I lift up my head in a joyful position. Jesus is not a religion. Oh, Jesus is not a religion. Thank you. Those Hindus thought it was a very good song, and they liked the lyrics. Jesus is not a religion. That's what I believe. I skipped one song called We Believe. We'll do that the next time. But I want to share with you the song that is probably my most most Swedes, I'd say the majority of Swedish people would know this song. And I'm so happy that it's this very song. I hope you know that you're invaluable. It's clear as any shining star. It's not because you are infallible. You're simply loved for who you are. There may be many people telling you that you must act a certain way. know the love of God accepts you right away, all the time, every day. I hope you know that you're invaluable. It's clear as any shining star. It's not because you are infallible. You're simply loved for who you are. It's true the world needs someone just like you. No one can do the things you do. With all the dreams you have and ventures to pursue, you can do what's truly you. Je vet toch wel dat je van waarde bent, onschatbaar en belangrijk bent. Totaal uniek, je bent zoals je bent. Je bent het waard om van te houden. I hope you know that you're invaluable. You're important here and now. It's not because you are infallible. You're simply loved for who you are. My last song tonight was recorded in Johannesburg with the South African musicians. Some of them had played with Paul Simon on his album Graceland. Yes, they really knew how to play. And just bringing my song and then putting it in the hands of those musicians, and it came out very special. On the Sunday, I went to Soweto, and I went to church. Has any one of you been to Africa? Yes, some of you have. Okay. So then you got the moves, I suppose. It took about 2 minutes in the worship service, and I noticed that I was dancing. So if you please stand up, I will teach you how to go to church in South Africa. Okay, it's... the title of the song is No Need to Worry, okay? And I wrote that song about half a year before The Lion King came for the first time. Yes? But I was about 2,000 years after Jesus had said, don't worry, okay? So, when you want to dance, you should stand with your feet a little bit apart, like that. So, and here's a trick now. To dance Afro, you need to bend your knees a little bit. Just like, oh, there we are. We're in church. Yes. Now, because what happens when you bend your knees a little bit is that you can move your bottom, you know, with no problem at all. Yeah, try. If you stand up straight, now try to move. No, it doesn't work. So bend your knees easily. And then you can also sometimes lift one knee like that and then move over to the other side. Yes, that's it. That's it. You can even use your hands like that over your knee when you do it. And then all of a sudden, you can also take a trip forward, okay? A small trip, a step, and then throw up your feet like that, okay? And then up with your hands like this. This is another one. Try that. Yes, moving. Very, very, very good. So, we are ready to go. And I will invite on guitar Tokoso Zungo. Okay, ready? Bending your knees. Move your shoulders up and down too, and your hands up, right? No need to worry, angels taking care of you. No need to worry, no, no, no. No need to worry, angels gonna see you through. No need to worry, no, no, no. When you're lying in your bed, you don't need to be afraid. In the middle of the night, you don't need to have no pride. Angels are watching over you. Hey, run away, run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Oh, oh, oh. No need to worry, angels taking care of you. No need to worry, no, no, no. No need to worry, angels gonna see you through. No need to worry, no, no, no. If they say that things are bad, don't you let it make you sad. If you hear the words they say, live on dancing anyway. Angels are dancing with you. No need. No need to worry, angels taking care of you. No need to worry, no, no, no. No need to worry, angels gonna see you through. No need to worry, no, no, no. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away, run away, oh. There's no need for you to rush. You'll have time and time enough. Angels are waiting for you. Hey, run away, run away, run away, run away, hey, run away, run away, oh, oh, oh. No need to worry, angels taking care of you. No need to worry, no, no, no. No need to worry, angels gonna see you through. No need to worry, no, no, no. No need to worry, angels taking care of you. No need to worry, no, no, no. No need to worry, angels gonna see you through. No need to worry, no, no, no.
Wow, what an amazing performance. I enjoyed that so much. I guess you did too. Okay, before we move on to the next artist, I would like to go into the audience and ask some of you a few questions about the workshops today. So is there anybody who would like to share something about what they've learned in the workshops? Is there someone who would like to tell something? Okay, I will hand you the mic.
We had quite an extraordinary experience, I thought, because I asked a question and I knew that everybody intuitively knew what the answer might be. And that was the case. Even before I taught the answer, everybody knew the answer. And it was not a simple question. So that just, for me, shows that we know a lot of things which we are not aware of.
Wow, really beautiful. Is there anybody else who would like to add something or tell something? Paul, can I ask you something?
Yeah, you can.
About the workshops. What did you learn today?
Well, I learned a lot about the beautiful music of Luis Alfredo, and we shared music in the morning. And later on, I had also 2 workshops, and one about storytelling. And for me, it was quite something new, how to combine music with stories and art and sculptures. And many people show them their art, and we're going to do something with that together, like in pairs. So I'm really curious about what that's going to be.
Yes, sounds marvelous. Thank you. Okay, so for the next artist is a professional dancer from Germany who has graduated this summer. She specializes in contemporary dance and already started to work on her own choreographic projects. Before her dancing career, she did drama and singing projects, and she's interested in combining these art forms. Her dance experiences in slums and villages of Kenya motivated her to dance for and with people from all cultures and communities. And for her performance, I would like to ask you to move to the front like we did yesterday with the dance act, so you have a better view. Her solo is about dealing with prostitution and the effect it has on women. So, Salome Kehlenbach. Wow, very impressive. Thank you for your performance. The next artist was raised and studied in Belgium, but he now lives in Germany. He's a visual artist who tries to express his inner world and relationship with God in his art. He's not only a visual artist, but also a graphic designer and an art historian. He told me that he considered his wife as the biggest gift he ever received because of the artistry they share. So I would like a warm welcome for Giovanni Merlevede from Germany.
Good evening. Good evening. First, I show you the website because what I'm going to tell you is very condensed. It's very condensed. Good evening. I've been painting for about 4 years now. No, that's not correct. I'm now 46 years old, and when I was 6, I told my mother I wanted to be an artist. My mother first reaction was, yeah, a bit higher. My mother's first reaction was, out of the question. But here I am, and I have studied painting and I enjoy it. But still, I have no public painting career. I have no big sales. And I have no big exhibitions. Do I miss it? Yes and no. My false desire is peeling off. I have been dying for about 25 years now. I'm dying until my resurrection. Not getting what I wanted, when I wanted it, and how I wanted it. I guess the invisible one rescued me from myself. Today, for me, that's crystal clear. It would have hindered me to find the heart, the core. We people are slow to change. It's gonna take time. Lots of blood, tears, sweat, and stink. My personal motivation, I learned that when it comes to levels of deepest change, it will not happen. Because I say so, or because I try so, or because I do whatever it takes. My personal motivation, I need his presence. I need the red phone. I needed to learn about my boundaries, the boundaries of my talent. I have something to give, like you all, and I also have something to receive from others too. No one can be the center of this world. That is, if you're not superhuman. False competition is leading nowhere, really. Then God cut my water pipe, so to speak. All of a sudden, out of the blue, no more water pressure. No more big ideas, no more big flow. I went on painting, but it was like going to dry land. And I asked myself, is this it? Is this all about? Is this as far as it goes for me? It was very strange, because technically I was able to paint, but I had no drive anymore. It just didn't speak. It was like you had to eat, but you were not hungry. And my self-confidence, and that way I learned an important lesson, that the real source of inspiration, it's not coming from me. Adonai is. If you have breath, if you can breathe, it's because it was and it is given to you. And if you can lift your little finger, it was and is given to you freely. Let's go back. Apparently, it's very slow. This throne, painting throne, it was made 2001. It's acrylics on canvas. It's about 70 to 100 centimeters. And what is it all about? This painting is about God's honor. It's about his unyielding mystery. I tried to visually express what it feels to me to imagine that me entering into his realms. To be confronted with some of his majesty, unfathomable. His exuberance, his endless might, his overwhelming goodness, his purity, his righteousness. Before him, I melt like wax. Before him, my body falls into the atoms. My spirit collapses. The Bible says God is like a consuming fire. Yet Jesus remarked, if you can see me, and if you recognize me, my ways, you will know quite a bit about how the Heavenly Father is also like. On earth, God will, generally spoken, not humble us. It's our choice. In some sense, you could say it's our honor. And in that sense, this painting is about a crowning place. Because he rewards. He is a giver. So where do we stand with the one? You humble yourself in the sight of God. And with my God, I have grown ever weaker. Ever weaker. Still, I was granted great endeavors. I was given great victories. At the same time, some areas in my life stink. It teaches me I'm helpless like a sheep. And I heard it say that every person on the earth has his breaking point, or her breaking point. Jesus compares us with helpless sheep. If a sheep falls on the back and is loaded with wool, and there's no one around, that sheep will die, simply because it's with the feet in the air, and it just cannot roll over. It says something how vulnerable we are. And the good thing for me was that I learned to cry out. I learned to wrestle with the One. I learned to go down on my knees. This painting is about wrestling with God in the sea. It's about being pulverized. What will you do if you're in the ocean and God is the sea and He is at the same time the rock and you're crushed between it? For me, that was a very strange place to be. One day that I sensed that God was like an enemy and He was attacking me. And it was fierce. And I sensed that it was an honor, that He took me very seriously. He didn't say, this is a play. This is just for fun. He was like crossing a line as a teacher. And I learned to focus on who He is and what He can do. I think I got to a deeper level where I respected Him and where I sensed that He respects me. For me, that was mind-blowing. This painting speaks about this kind of passage. I want to close with scripture. I'm ever amazed how it impacts me, just simply reading it. And I only read it when I'm hungry. Sometimes when I'm not hungry and I read scriptures, it blows in the air. But when I'm really hungry, then it has an impact. And the Apostle Paul writes in 2 Corinthians 4, verses 16, 17. That is why we never give up. Though our bodies are dying, our spirits, our inner being, are renewed. It is renewed every day. Career or not. I like the thought that Jesus said that He is like a fierce shepherd. And that if a bear comes or a wolf, that He will fiercely stand against it for you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your beautiful art and your words. Okay, the next artist is an amazing guitarist. He's been performing as a concert guitarist and studio musician since the 80s. His repertoire varies from classical pieces to jazz, and with his solo tour, he performed in many different countries, such as the USA, South Africa, Scandinavia, the Benelux, and many more. Earlier today, I met up with this artist, and I asked him about his heart, what he wants to tell through his music. And he told me that raising awareness for political issues is very important for him. And I'd like to invite him to the stage to tell me about the story he told me about his performances in Africa. Werner Hucks. Hi, Werner. You shared such a wonderful story with me earlier today, and I was hoping you would share with the whole audience because I found it very special.
So thanks a lot, guys. I'd love to do it, and I was very happy to hear a couple of times during the last 1.5 days that we should not forget the social issues when we are on stage or when we are performing arts or when we doing art, and that we should make our points in political opinions and be there. And I have the impression that in the last years, especially in Germany, I hope my guitar doesn't fall down, many Christian musicians had this kind of perspective. They just saw a small part of what is possible in art. There's so much more. And coming back to Africa, it was a time where you couldn't go to South Africa without being political. It was not possible. You couldn't just go there and play there. There was a cultural boycott, and I remember when I had a television show with a black television studio, I arrived there and they tried to make up some makeup for me, and they looked at their colors they had. There was pitch black, there was coffee brown, but there was nothing with the color of my skin, so they didn't know what to do. They let me on stage just the way as I was. And the first question was, Werner, why do you break the cultural boycott? And I said to them, it's cutting people from culture is like taking away the air to breathe, is like closing down your water. It's just a wrong decision to stop a country to receive cultural, to make impossible a cultural exchange. And there were many things. For example, I had the chance to play in Soweto. They told me I was the first person ever, first white person to play in Soweto. The people looked to me as if I would have been an alien. I was going to the Cape area wanted to play in one club, and the club owner received a telephone call from the radical wing of the ANC, and they said, if you're going to let this white German guy play, we're going to kill you and your family. So it couldn't happen. And there were a lot of difficult situations, but it was great to play there in South Africa in this time, together with a band of a black bass player, with a white drummer, with an Indian piano player, with a colored saxophone player, and that was the entrance key to a lot of places I couldn't have gone alone. And that was a beautiful thing. And I love to encourage you, and I've seen this here in many, many aspects already. Just open your perspective, be open for much more. It's so important to have this connection, to look inside and look up and say, holy, holy. But there's a lot of time for you left at home where you can do it. But look at other things as well. That was a little thing I'd love to share.
Thank you so much. Okay, the stage is yours. Werner Hucks.
It's always a little bit dangerous if I have the mic and have the chance to talk. I talk. It's like Carlos, and I feel the same. I wonder why the people say there's the small musician coming along. I don't know why they say it, but we don't care, I think so. And one of the first tunes I've played here, it was in my early 20s, was a beautiful tune that was written in the year when I was born, in 1962. I'm 57 now. It was in the early 20s of my life, so I think it must have been around 85. I'm not really sure. I hope you still like it. Yeah, while we are getting older, I think it is a good decision to watch out other things of artists that we would love to do. And I wouldn't call it a kind of art, but every now and then I sit down when I have these moments where I feel touched. Klaus-André Eickhoff had a beautiful song last night talking about this very special moments. And I've had one of those moments where I really had the feeling something is coming together and I should take the time and write something down. And here is a little short story, and I'm very thankful to Yukiko for translating it from German to English. The young Christian artists from the Christian Artist Seminar 2018. The splashing of the fountain is calm and relaxing at the end of these days. I have the blues, like every time I've been here for over 30 years now. The sound of rolling suitcases mixes with laughter from the last farewell scenes. A fully packed, good-humored Dutchman with a rucksack and baseball cap calls out a cheerful "Take care!" and disappears again. I can't help it. This farewell hurts. If someone asked me today what Europe meant to me, I would not hesitate to tell him about these days here. Artists from many European countries who live together for 4 days and show the best of their art. Painters, dancers, photographers, musicians, and so many more. I think of Dorothea from Hungary, who in addition to her exquisite series of shoes, showed us pictures from her studies. Her pencil drawings of portraits of old people went to my heart. If you put one of her portraits next to Leonardo da Vinci, I couldn't tell which one was hers. So gifted, an amazing handling of light and shadow, enormous eye of detail, and she achieves something that not many pictures manage to do. It touches me deep down inside. She's probably 21, and she is also modeled. Or Jonathan, 22 years old, studies piano and composition in Berkeley, Boston. He sits at breakfast, munching his muesli while listening to a title on his mobile phone, which he will accompany in the evening. As he writes down the chord sequence in Nashville notation, which he patiently explains to me afterwards, 1, 3, 6, 4, 5, 7, 3, and so on, he effortlessly talks to me at the same time. Wonderfully talented young people who have found their way to Christian artist. The second evening was my set, all alone with my guitar. Before I begin with the Allemande from the third cello suite, I would like to pray the Lord's Prayer with the audience. Will you do me the favor and stand up and pray the Lord's Prayer with me, everybody in their own language? I pray the first lines in German and then I listen. In Hungarian, Lithuanian, Spanish, French, and many other languages, I hear this prayer of prayers spoken with a joyful seriousness. What is Europe to me? This is Europe. students from Mongolia here? I believe in Jesus Christ and lifelong learning. I think it's such a great conception of a way of life to incorporate new things, to end and to share what you have learned on your path, to give it to the next generation and the generation that follows. And therefore, I'd love to play one tune that I wrote for my students. It's called the Students' Medley. And my message with this song is, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are so important. When you make a mistake and you recognize it, learning will happen. And that is beautiful concept for your whole life. When you have discovered that a mistake might happen, but you have a chance to repair it, to make it better when you try it again. What kind of better thing could you teach your students? And I believe in that, and therefore my Students' Medley, I'm quite sure that you recognized one or the other tune in the styles my students every now and then play it to me. Ingemar, the next is for you.
Wow. Well, I think the reaction from the audience speaks for itself. The next artist is a young talent, and his name is Jan David Bürger. He's from Germany, and sadly he can't be here tonight because he's ill. But this young talent did send us a clip. He's an actor who played in lots of TV shows and movies, and he played in multiple movies by the well-known film director Sönke Wortmann. I was told he's a multi-talented artist who also has a passion for directing, photography, dancing and singing. So I think it will be a wonderful surprise. Let's see.
Was soll bloß aus uns werden?
Morgen. Harald, Brötchen.
Was machst denn du hier?
Alter Mann! Bist du besoffen? Willst du sterben?
Hast du mich gerade alter Mann genannt?
Wir haben die Tour schon gemacht, ja. Da seid ihr noch mit der Trommel und Weihnachtsbaum gelaufen.
Super, Klaus Maria, das macht uns jetzt wirklich alt. Ja?
Ja. Jetzt geht aus dem Weg.
Aber wir wollten euch eigentlich nur fragen, ob ihr einen Kasten Bier springen lassen könnt.
Komm, Chris, lass gut sein jetzt.
Unser Lehrer Sommer auf einem Idiotenbike. Ich lach mich tot.
Hallo Pascal, freut mich, dass du der guten alten Vatertagstradition auch was abgewinnen kannst.
Vatertag? Das ist unsere Abi-Feier. Kommt alles auf unsere Abi-Website.
Mach mal die Kamera runter, hier filmt keiner unheimlich.
Ja Mensch, Pascal, wir dann tu deinem ehemaligen Lehrer doch einen Gefallen und lass einen Kasten Bier springen.
Sie machen als kleines Dankeschön für 10 Jahre tödliche Langeweile, ne?
Ja, Pascal, wenn man nicht mitmacht im Unterricht, dann hat man auch nichts davon. Da habe ich oft genug gesagt, ne?
Ey Leute, ganz ehrlich, jetzt lass uns doch zusammen feiern.
Geh sterben, Alter.
Hallo Elena.
Hey, komm Spezi! An deiner Stelle würde ich mich erschießen!
Wie willst du das Beich ernähren?
Vater, bitte.
Bist still. Schau mich an. Willst du einen Hof wieder aufbauen? Du hast ja nichts.
Ist mir egal. Ich lieb sie.
Von der Liebe ist noch keiner satt geworden.
Komm, Maisie.
Ich halte dich nie auf. Los. Geh. Pack dein Zeug und verschwinde.
Billy.
Wenn ich genug Geld verdient habe, komme ich zurück und hol dich. Vielleicht liebst du mich dann.
Jetzt mal ernsthaft. Wenn es mit den Mädels klappen soll, darfst du nicht immer so einsilbig sein.
Ein Kommando bitte.
Radio.
Radio. Nennen Sie eine Frequenz.
99,4.
99,4 wird eingestellt.
Geht doch.
Das Mädchen stirbt vielleicht.
Wegen den paar Pillen?
Wegen der paar Pillen. Jetzt fängt ja auch noch damit an. Wegen der paar Pillen droht Ihnen unter Umständen lebenslänglich, junger Freund. Draußen befindet sich die Mutter des Mädchens. Die Journalisten. Sie alle wollen einen schuldigen.
Aber ich hab die nicht gemacht. Ich wusste doch nicht, dass die so schlimm sind.
Wer hat sie denn gemacht?
Der Typ nennt sich Hugh. Mehr weiß ich nicht.
Jo? Im Sinne von U. Wie haben Sie den Kontakt aufgenommen zu diesem U?
Gar nicht. Wir haben nur einmal gequatscht. Danach lag das Zeug immer unterm Mülleimer im Park. Ich hab's da geholt und das Geld abgeliefert.
Ein großer, mystischer Unbekannter namens U. Sie verschwenden meine Zeit.
Warten Sie. Es gibt ihn wirklich. Ich weiß vielleicht, wo Sie ihn finden können.
All right. Before we continue, I would like to make some announcements for tonight. The exhibition opening will be after the concert's end, and Teddy, Miriam, and Peter will say a few words. So I would like to invite you all to visit the exhibition. The future stage tomorrow will start at 1 till 2 instead of 1:30. And everybody's welcome to watch, but if you're late, please take the stairs from the dining room. And maybe the most important announcement, the bar tonight will be downstairs. Okay. The next artist has an impressive career that spans nearly 4 decades. He's a composer, singer-songwriter, and a music therapist. He produced 23 original albums and even worked together with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. As a music therapist, he mainly works with children and young people with special needs. He now seeks to integrate his skills and experience in his artistry. I need to keep going, but I don't know what to say. So I'll be going into the audience again. Is there someone else who would like to share something about their workshop? Yes.
I had a wonderful workshop with Nina Astrom, and we were looking at how to communicate with the audience in a way that enriches them and does God honor. And I discovered that when you really have this experience of being called by God to do something, that when you are in this position to perform or say something, you will not focus on your shortcomings, but you will be, you know that you will be there at the right time, at the right place.
Wonderful. All right. Benjamin, can I ask you something? Can you tell me something about your workshops today?
Yeah, I really liked it to get some introduction into mime.
Okay.
So I joined Carlos Martinez's workshop for the very first time after seeing him perform on stages all over Germany for the last 20 years. So I really liked that.
Wonderful. All right. Oh. Can I ask you something about the workshops from today? What did you enjoy most?
Doing intuitive clay modeling with Elizabeth, whatever her last name is. We did the clay workshops were really good, and she gave us prompting with Lectio Divina, meditating on scripture, and then using that as a starting point to sculpt. It was very nice.
Okay, sounds really wonderful. I think we're ready. So, I would like you all to give a warm welcome to Adrian Snell from the UK.
Well, she shines so brightly, he's gonna burn out soon. The night's so clear, I can hardly count the stars, but the moon in all her glory even dazzles Mars. The firefly came from nowhere, it seems. His tiny wings of flame, his body beams a message like a beacon, flashing through the night. When the dazzling moon eclipses, I'm still burning bright. You may be strong, you may be bold, you may be loud, but you may still be cold. And And when darkness falls with the moon so vain, the eye will turn to the smallest flame. It would be fair to say, in the scheme of things, that a million moons would sit inside Saturn's rings. So when all is said and done, and I look into your eyes, and we share our stories under glistening skies, however small and lost, however small and lost, however small and lost you may think you are, to me your life is shining like the brightest star. I'll remember you, please remember me, every time you come across the firefly and the dazzling moon, the dazzling moon, the dazzling moon. What an extraordinary day. Coming back to Holland, meeting people, some of whom I haven't seen for 10 years or more. And I have to tell you, there's one thing that us Brits, artists here at Christian Artists, have almost to a man and a woman in common. We are passionate, broken-hearted Europeans. Thank you very much. So much so that I'm going to start a new movement from this place tonight via song. We've got a few months left, and it goes like this, and I'm going to need your help, but this is how it is. No more Brexit, no more Brexit. Make it stop, make it stop. Please just stop the ticking. Please just stop the ticking of the Brexit clock. The Brexit clock. Okay? Let's go. All together first, and then we'll split it into two. 1, 2, 3, 4. No more Brexit. No more Brexit. Make it stop. Make it stop. Please just stop the ticking. Please just stop the ticking of the Brexit clock. The Brexit clock. This half and then this half. Are you ready? No more Brexit. No more Brexit. Carry on. No more Brexit. No more Brexit. Make it stop. Make it stop. Please just stop the ticking. Please just stop the ticking of the Brexit clock. The Brexit clock. Last time. Make it stop. Make it stop. Please just stop the ticking. Please just stop the ticking of the Brexit clock. Please just stop the ticking of the Brexit clock. The Brexit clock. Fantastic! Well, I hope Boris Johnson was listening to that. I really do. But seriously, I honestly want to tell you that I and most of my friends are broken-hearted is possibly an understatement because of the division this is causing. Not just in Europe, but in my country. And it's heartbreaking to see what's happening. Families divided, communities divided. I've never personally known anything like it, and I really wonder what's to come. Fortunately, however, there's much more to our lives than that. I spoke a little bit this morning, and this kind introduction I received a few minutes ago explained a bit about my work as a music therapist and the young people and the children that I work with daily during school term time. I want to read you something from a psalm. As I read this to you, I would just like you to let the words settle in your heart and ask yourself, do I really believe these words? I think they are amongst the most challenging in the whole of the Bible when you start to actually unpack them. Here they come. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Now, I don't know about you, I struggle with those words because I regularly do not see myself as particularly fearfully and wonderfully made. But I can tell you that an awful lot of the young people that I work with feel that even more acutely. And there's a lot of anger, actually, amongst quite a few of the people I work with who wonder what it was they did or didn't do, that they are born with a certain kind of disability or develop some kind of a crisis of body or mind. So those words are immensely challenging to all of us, and they take a bit of thinking about. I think part of my job as a music therapist, without, of course, proclaiming my faith, which I wouldn't be allowed to do in a state school, but I think an awful lot of what I'm trying to do each day when I work with some of these people is bring the depth of those words to fruition in the lives of the young people I work with. And I'm going to sing you a song that I kind of wrote, very, very profoundly influenced by this work. It's called Fierce Love. And you will see some of the young people and children that I work with in Britain and elsewhere. So, Fierce Love. This is where you reach me in the isolation. This is where you teach me, give me a foundation. This is where I hear you stumbling over speaking, searching for some meaning from never-ending words. This is where I know you, shuffling with the awkward, standing with the wayward, knowing we are heard. This is where I seek you, in the margins, not the center, celebrating difference in the dullness of the same. This is where I find you, seated at the table, with the hurt unstable, in a place of pain. This is where you feed me. You tell me you believe in me. This is where you greet me, call me by my name. This is where I breathe you, fill my lungs, inhale you, in the mess and chaos of each and every day. Fear the love that binds us, guides the hand and shapes the heart. Love that dignifies us, sees in you a work of art, sees in you a work of art. This is where I feel you facing disapproval, seeking validation every time I fall. This is where you meet me in the dirt and danger, scratching for some feeling till my skin is raw. This is where I need you, loved through my obsessions, with all my contradictions, lost and sad inside. This is why I love you, embracing the disordered, affirming the disappointed, somewhere safe to hide. This is where I cling to you, take delight in all you do, walking in your footprints wherever they may lead. Oh, fierce, the love that binds us, guides the hand and shapes the heart. Love that dignifies us, sees in you a work of art, sees in you a work of art. There's one other passage in the Bible that probably challenges me and means as much to me as the one I read. And it has a particular relevance to me because I grew up as a child in a family of 5. There were 3 children and 2 parents. And my father, he died first, and then my sister, and then my brother, and then my mother, and then my stepfather. So it's like a very strange feeling when I never, ever expected to be the last one standing. But the song I want to finish with is a song that I sung or was played at each of the funerals of my wonderful family. But listen to these words, which I would like to use as a kind of preface to the song. Now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. And he who was seated on the throne said, I am making all things new. don't have to fear what tomorrow can do. We will all be shining. Nothing but goodness, nothing but peace, nothing but heaven's sweet release. Don't you know it's all coming true? One day we'll be shining new. Don't you know? Don't you know? It's all coming true. One day we'll be shining, shining new. Don't you know? Don't you know? It's all coming true. One day we'll be shining, shining new. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
What a powerful performance. Thank you so much, Adrian. Okay. Ministry, misery, and mystery. She delivered a wonderful speech yesterday, and I'm sure she will inspire us all again. Ria, I would like to invite you to the stage.
Is there something here? Oh, look at this. Oh, in a bottle. Oh. Oh, look at this. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the beautiful man at Christian Artist. My goodness. It's such a pity that I'm old, but okay. Yes, that is. That. Dear friends, what a day, what a good day, and what a good evening. I hope I know you have a very good time. Of course, you have a good time. And now I give you a very special speech. How to come to our full potential. As human being, as creative person. Are we believing that every person is creative? I believe that. But you are free to think different about this. Creativity can be suppressed. That can happen by education, school, church, society, and by each other's influence. I think that the evil in this world wants to destroy creativity. It will always be a fight to hold up the beauty of creativity. To keep going as a creative person. I didn't give the creativity a free way for our sons to follow the education they want. They still let us know that regularity, based on a wrong understanding of Christianity, we limited them too much. And I'm sorry for that. But this legalistic view was wrong. Later, they could do the clothing and hair as they wanted. And later, they had enough freedom to do the things they want to do. So I'm happy they have educated themselves in a very good way. And they are here to support us. But I come back, this is something between the sons and us. But I come back to my first thought. Is every human being creative? The human being is a creation in itself. It having a lot of possibilities. We can go from left to right. The world of creativity is open. I think I'm created to live, to be creative. And of course, we aren't all great artists. That doesn't matter. And maybe happily not. I think when you want to sing, to dance, to paint, to sculpture, to write, give it a chance. Go for an education that fits you. I cannot sing because my voice is old. I am also old. I cannot dance. I like to move, but sure, I cannot dance. I cannot paint. But I can make clothes. I could not boast about that because making clothes belongs to sewing women and ateliers. And clothes is not important in the Christian world. Fashion is worldly and not for believers. I made my creativity always smaller, also as Christian artist. I had no education. I'm an autodidact in everything. So I went my own way. Now, I'm not ashamed to show my appearance, my clothes, my eyeglasses, my jewelry, my belts, everything. And I'm believing that this is my art. So, So, what you are doing? Believe in your art form. Be happy who you are. Be proud. And find your own creativity. I want to tell a short story. It was in 1989. We had at our office an exposition. There were a lot of artists. They did very serious. A painter started a conversation with me and asked me, of course, what are you doing? And she asked me, what is your vision, your dream, your creativity, and of course, what is your ministry? And she asked me, when you become 80, what can you say about your skills? Strange question. I was 44 in that days. I looked at her and said, I hope I still live when I'm 80. And when I'm 80, the whole day I will sit at the terrace with a glass of wine and start smoking. I said that with a very serious face. She didn't understand. And she still probably does not. But it was so prophetic, what I said. We sit here after Christian artists, after the concert, talking, drinking, some of you, and also me, smoking and joy to be with each other. I still do this together with Lane, with our family, with friends. Pressure, career has passed for me and for Lane. I really can enjoy to do nothing and just enjoy life.
Thank you so much for your wonderful speech, Ria. The last artist for tonight comes from Finland. She's a singer-songwriter and evangelist. She worked for almost 30 years in more than 30 different countries. She performed in churches, concert halls, prisons and festivals, and not to forget the Eurovision Song Contest. She released 15 albums, and earlier today she told me a fun fact. She's not only a good singer, but bakes a great birthday cake. I'd like to welcome Nina Astrom.
Hey there. Take some time a little bit just here. Just to set up a little more. Here's Luca. We're good to go.
Your little baby, you have kissed the
So obviously, I'm very, very privileged to have Luca Gento with me here today. We first met at Christian Artist, and it was many, many years ago. Yeah. And we've done a lot of live work. I mean, concerts, records, producing. Also, the Eurovision Song Contest. He wrote the tune, and just a lot of. And recently, Last City, played from the distance, but still. So, very, very privileged. It's always more beautiful when the mathematics of the kingdom is usually more than, like, let's say 5 + 5 is not maybe 10. It's 1,200 or something, So it's just not two people here. There's always more. There's the Holy Spirit who lives in the believer, and then there's more ways that he can impact. This next song is a little older one that I wrote after looking at a very, very familiar scene that I think all of us have seen. Being inside, there's a butterfly that comes in and accidentally can't find her way out anymore. You try to help her, and she gets all fluttery and is going through on the window pane because she's getting all panicking and you think, like, oh, stupid butterfly, just let me help you. Let me help you. There's the way. That's where the light is. Stupid butterfly. Well, I have been as stupid as that. Maybe some of you as well.
Frantically fluttering her wings. On the wrong side of the window pane, she could see the light, and the window is ajar. 'Cause she's so close, but she cannot find her way out. She's so close. She knows where she needs to be. It is where the light comes from, where freedom is. But it's so out of her reach, frustrated, numb, dissatisfied, but eager to. Would you still take me with you? Butterfly, frantically fluttering her wings. On the wrong side of the window pane, she can see the light, and the window is ajar. And she's so close, but she cannot find her way out. She's so close. She knows where she needs to be, but her hands are tied, her head is empty. It's a regular nightmare. She's just bursting with these images, full of visions, but no way to know how to get there. She's got just no way to know. Butterfly. Of her chronology, take her down, keep her mouth shut, hold her rigid, oh, so rigid. Butterfly.
I'll tell this morning in the workshop that we did, because I was reminded of the song and an incident that happened. I don't have a criminal record, but I've still visited some, 350 prisons or rehabs in this world, different parts of the world. So we do a lot of prison, gigs for the last 20 years or so. And this particular song that we just did, we were in a prison, in a women's prison in Latvia. And it wasn't the first time in that prison, but it was a couple of years, in between. And some people stay longer, obviously, there. And I announced the last song of the set. I said, the last song is going to be, and then I said something. And then there was suddenly a lady from the audience, like, oh no, like that. And I was like, that's a nice reaction, not the last song. I was like, what? They said, no, not the last song. Butterfly, she said, sing Butterfly. And so I had sang Butterfly, the previous time. And she was there. And she wanted to hear it again. And it was a privilege, obviously, for me to do that for her or for anybody. This next song, because I'm a songwriter, I write about things that I see and hear and think and read and live. It's about prisons. It's called Freedom Within Prison Walls. It talks about the freedom that anybody, and I really mean anybody, from the Armani suit to the no shoes at all and everything between, can and should know. And this is, as the Gospel of John says, Jesus says of himself, if the Son makes you free, you will be truly free. This we have seen in prisons. People become followers of Christ, but also in the free world, whatever that means. Yeah, but freedom within prison walls. And we're going to do a little bit of an experiment here with our instruments. We were playing at this prison. This was somewhere in St. Petersburg. And after the set, a man came to us and he said, I'm free. And I said, yeah, right. Because these walls are just a temporary hindrance to me. And later I heard that he had found freedom within prison walls. We were playing at this other prison. This was somewhere in Murmansk. As I was looking over the extremely short-cut hairs, I saw this man with a beaming face. And later I heard that he had found freedom within prison walls. I said, yeah. I said, yeah, oh yeah. Freedom within prison walls. It was freedom within prison walls. We were playing at this prison. This was somewhere in Albania, I think. And the ladies in the cell, they were a little suspicious first. I can't really blame them. But just the being women broke the walls and real sisterhood emerged. And I can tell it was freedom within prison walls. Yeah! I said, yeah, oh yeah. Freedom within prison walls. It was freedom within prison walls. Let's see what we can do with the cello and with the piano. Now we were playing this venue, I think it was somewhere in Holland, somewhere in the middle, I think it was Doorn. As I was looking in the crowd for a friendly pair of eyes, I saw this same look, the same shine. I could tell it was the same thing he was. It was freedom with the prison wall. Yeah! I said, yeah, oh yeah. Freedom with the prison walls. It was freedom with the prison walls. Yeah. Okay, watch out. Look at Jen. Hope you don't mind. Okay, the last song is also a double collaboration, a Christian artist collaboration with Luca. It's from my latest album, but it's also an original Finnish song that was translated into English, which I'm going to do in English now, by Betty Spackman, who is, for many of you know, Betty somewhere here sitting. She translated this into English. Beautiful, beautiful. Because I'm pretty careful with words and things, and I just, this is just beautiful. So thank you, Betty. Thank you. I think you're probably sitting there. I'm guessing that you're sitting there, because you usually have been sitting there. Yeah. So this would be my testimony, although it's not my song. It's a very sort of heavyweight kind of a Finnish classic. And I'm really glad that it's been now translated into English. It's my testimony, obviously also her, you know, the Eva who wrote this. And I think many of you also know what this song speaks about. Jesus will ever be enough. In him my heart is calm when times are rough. In stillness waiting at his cross brings rest. In him alone I receive all that is best. In stillness waiting at his cross brings rest. In him alone I receive all that is best. Our lives a breath, a swaying, flickering flame. If we have fortune or if we have fame, our happy days, our moments end so fast. Only in Jesus is joy that will last. Our happy days, our moments end so fast. Only in Jesus is joy that will last. No one but Jesus can get me through the night. When my heart's full of anguish, full of fright, through wilderness so deep I'm lost alone. No one but Jesus will guide my way back home. Through wilderness so deep I'm lost alone. No one but Jesus will guide my way back home.
Jesus will step into my boat. When waves are raging, he keeps me afloat. Oh, help me, Lord, I cry out in my fear. He calms the storm in me because he's near. Oh, help me, Lord, I cry out in my fear. He calms the storm in me because he's near. No one but Jesus, he will be there when I close my eyes at last. And heaven's gates open, inviting me to pass. He is with me when I leave this time and place. Move to my Father's house and see his face. He is with me when I leave this time and place. Move to my Father's house and see his face. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Luca. Thank you very much.
Okay. What a wonderful way to end this lovely concert. Okay, be sure to visit the exposition and don't forget that the bar is downstairs. I wish you all a very lovely evening.